That's gross. Don't do that.
Dude, that is so gross.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tavern Talks once again, where we hang out, a couple bros on a court in the garage next to a makeshift bar, and we are kicking it here today, talking about things. Stay tuned.
1, 2, 3.
All right, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Welcome to the tavern.
Good day, sir.
I'm Tyler. Who are you?
Mike right here. Mike's in the house.
His house.
Mike on the mic.
Mike in the mic.
Yeah.
Who that is over there?
This is Logan.
We sound really excited.
This
Are
is
we
ro-
like? Is it hot in here?
It is hot in here.
It is hot in here.
It is
I know.
hot.
It's what is it? April in Northern California, and it's just starting to crest
know.
into hotness. Who you is?
Oh, I'm Matt. Hey, what's up?
Matt. Oh, hey. You said that
Hey.
so
How are you?
cuteness. What are we talking about today?
Well, it doesn't have to be in order, but one thing we're
No,
going to
not
talk
at all.
about is my topic is things you've talked like over the years, like growing up. For instance,
Yeah.
this is my story, but like things over the years you've discussed with friends, just joking around, BSing. Like, what would you do for money? Like crazy things.
What would you do for money?
Yeah, like what would you consider doing for money?
Okay, so caveat to that: is it money? Is it a time of desperation, or you're sitting around having brews? You're like, hold my beer.
What
would you do?
For instance, the story I'm going to tell here in the near
Just,
future.
I mean, why don't you just roll with it? Lead with it.
Yeah, roll.
Just go.
And
'Cause here
how
we are.
much? Just
I'm hooked. I'm 100% hooked.
You got to give us a price too, because I might actually want to pay out to see this happen. as well.
That is an excellent point.
I hope your like punchline at the very end is that you'd work for a utility company.
Got him.
Yeah, got him. No, like for instance, like growing up, I don't know if you guys ever did, but like my buddies and I, we'd always like, oh man, what would you do for money? That'd be crazy. Like do this or do that, or you know, some crazy thing, whether it be a stunt or just something totally abstract. Like what would you do? Side friend, he hung out, but he wasn't really the closest with all of us and stuff. But he'd always come up with the weirdest things, and this one always came up time after time. Which the first time I was like, oh, that's gross, whatever. And then like after it came up like a second or third time, we're like, you may have a problem. So
What was it?
he would like, for $1 million, I'd perform fellatio on a transient. And I'm just like, whoa, bro. Like, we're talking about like jumping dirt bikes over, you know, railroad tracks. He's talking about blowing homeless people. Like, just. So, like,
Serious? Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
$4 million, by the way, that a homeless person probably would not have at this point in time as well.
Well, you'd
Well,
probably have somebody that.
Or would it be us that is paying that out?
well, that's the thing. Like,
You have to find 3 weird people for that. Right? Like just put that perspective. You have to find the weirdo with the $1 million who wants to see that. He's got to be weird enough to get for the $1 million, and you got to find the homeless guy who's like,
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I heard there's earmarked funds in the CARES Act, $2.2 trillion. There's just $1 million in there for a freaking homeless blowjob.
yeah, my old buddy. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I wonder if he ever like fulfilled that random thing he'd always talk about. Because I shit you not, like every time we're like, oh yeah, like months later, like what would you do? Like anything else crazy? And he's like, I'd probably blow a homeless person. We're just like, what? All right, we're not gonna ask you anymore because it's just
Dude.
like so out of like. It had nothing to do with what we're talking about. We weren't talking about.
that dude is not worried about the coronavirus
At all.
He's got other viruses he is worried about.
But
Can y'all hear the kids outside?
Slightly.
Like slightly? Is it pretty?
There's
There's Buddy.
They haven't distanced too far.
hopefully they can't hear us.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, yeah.
You guys keep
Hey,
talking.
we're talking about fellatio, everybody.
I'm gonna go tell him to be quiet and
Mom,
move to
Dad,
the
what's
end. I'll be right
fellatio?
back.
I was trying to be all proper at first, like transients, fellatio, but then I just was like, those words.
It doesn't work that way.
Those are $25 words. Use them once. But so that was one of my stories, and it just came to mind because it just was something funny. We always joked about it. But
So
yeah.
what's yours?
What would I do for money?
Yeah, what's the craziest thing you do for money?
Oh man, mine's more like daring, like
Could you hear it?
risking.
Yeah. We're recording right now.
Yeah, we're
We're totally recording. We're even though. Next time I spill in your kitchen,
you're on
You can
Thursday night.
Inject it to my podcast.
Lynn's like, you
Grabbing
spilled
a whole
again.
thing of wine. I'm never coming back here.
But about mine was probably just something dumb.
One bottle to yourself is considered hoarding.
Wait, what would you do for money?
Mine's lame. And like back then, I'm saying back then, like when my buddy said that abstract stuff, like
Yeah.
mine was like, I'd jump a car over a bridge or doing something crazy like that for money, and it was never like $1 million. He just threw out like an actual amount of money and then like something super descriptive of what he would do, and it was just, I think he thought about it more than all of us.
What's the craziest thing you would do for
Well, hold
money?
on, Mike. What is the craziest thing that you would do for money?
Yeah, now that you're
yeah.
you're
Oh,
old,
yeah,
wise,
because
and
you were
you've-
talking about past.
and you've had years of driving around.
I've done some pretty stupid things for money just at work. Like some things,
Like, I want some chicken nuggets.
no, like risking my life for, money, but it's like after the fact. And one of my buddies put it in a good way. He goes, 99% of the time we get paid way too much money, but that 1% of the time you wouldn't pay me all the money in the world to do that again. Like that's how scary it was. Which talking to you guys that were in the service, probably like, oh, that's nothing because it's probably very similar. But yeah, just doing stupid things at heights, which isn't stupid as in like breaking rules, but that's things that normal people wouldn't ever think about doing. And
I hung my ass off of a probably 3 to 4 story parking garage and pooped onto the back,
I love these stories.
just holding onto my hands and hanging it off. So when you look back and it's like, that was very dangerous. One slip and I'd be gone. I'd be splat.
I wonder what would hit the ground first.
I don't know. With
So-
the big old rocket dump or me.
I'm just thinking, like, literally, you really weighed the options there. It was like, either this is gonna work,
Yep.
or I'm gonna die in a pile of my own feces.
Of my own,
man.
of my
Yep.
own shit.
Splat, blood, head, guts everywhere. And
Hey man,
poo.
no falls ever killed somebody. It's always a sudden stop at the end.
The
That's
landing.
true.
That's science. That's fact.
Yeah. It's
good
You
thought.
can't mess with that. All right, what's yours?
Mine, I'd probably run naked on a major sporting event for 6 figures.
That's a good one. So regardless of outcome, you go to jail, whatever, doesn't matter. You just have to do it, period.
Whatever.
And you're quick too. Like he'd be out there for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some time. People would definitely see my ass and also my dick basically the entire time.
Did you?
So
Heck yeah.
So no hockey events, right?
No hockey games. Like, I still wouldn't
What
be
is
accepted
that?
at hockey games, but
that a tranny?
and it would be very hard.
See, like me, if I did it, they'd be like, "Why is that woman running naked across the field?"
No, if you started doing that, another big. I thought Joe Exotic was in jail.
Yeah.
Have you seen? And I'm talking about my Ducks here, but did you see this year the dude who went streaking?
Oh, dude, it wasn't like a lineman, or it was a linebacker that took him out, wasn't it?
It was
Oh.
a defensive
Yeah.
end line, defensive back.
Oh.
Dude, straight up though. I mean, regardless,
Like knocked him out.
went running and just laid shoulder and just boom. It was epic.
So
Was
here's the
that
question.
during- was that during the? What was that during?
Just a regular game,
Was that
regular
a
season
regular
game.
game?
Yeah, it wasn't a
Okay.
playoff game or anything like that.
So looking at that event, it happened. It had to have been one of 3 things, right? A, that dude knew the other guy, right? They're like in a math class or something. He's like,
You think so?
that guy won't shut up,
Ooh, that's a good
right?
point.
Because like, how many times why would an athlete care if someone running around naked is? You're like, sweet, I get an extra like 4 minutes to breathe in the middle of this football game.
Yeah.
Right. So he turned down extra rest to sprint after somebody in the middle of a college football game. So
That is
either
pretty epic because what if they were like algebra bros?
right. So I think one of 3 things: either A, in the same class, they hate each other, and he's like, "I'm gonna get it right now."
Or they planned it.
Don't know if I said A or 1, but we're gonna go on to 2 or B.
I'm down with that.
He's just saw it, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna get on ESPN right now."
Yeah. Let's go.
I don't care how the rest of this game ends. We could be blown out. This will be the highlight.
Fair enough. For those that are listening, I am making a old fashioned right now, and I've been trying to do it really quiet. Could you hear it?
Up until you toss the can, yeah.
Yeah. Damn. It's okay.
Almost had it.
You did pretty good.
Hey, thank you.
I might go at it though at like a bowling match where like
Just slip and fall. Like,
do
you're
we
just
got? Yeah.
Bambi, naked Bambi
bowling?
down the
like at bowling, like just walk across the whole grease pit basically, and just keep on slipping and falling, and just who's gonna chase me?
Well, we know
70-year-old
your
people?
thoughts on bowling.
Yeah, we all know my thoughts on
Yeah,
bowling.
it's a sport.
I mean, the only thing that would be terrible is if a ball literally comes down and hits me in the nuts as I'm like falling over.
well, who's throwing them that high? It'd take you out at the ankles.
But here's the question: if you have so many balls and pins hanging around, do you think like it would put things in a different perspective?
It might.
Right?
You're right. Would it be better if I like jumped out of a plane that you're like flying and like just came in?
Dude, that'd be on
like
point.
that?
I would. There's what I'd do for money. I'd throw them out of my airplane.
Who of you are listening would hop on the back of a 2,500 pound bull in PBR and go, "Yep, got this."
I don't know. Those things freak me out. Like I do a lot of.
Like
$1 million.
for what? Like, are we
$1
talking
million.
about
$1 million
how
bucks,
much?
I'd do it.
$1 million bucks, I'd do it.
Yep.
You got to
There's a
stay
lot
on
of
it for
things
a
I do for
minimum
$1
3
million bucks.
seconds. Out of the chute, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Hold on.
So there's a place down in Galt you can go do that. I think it's like $200 or $300, and you like go like 3 times.
To get tossed?
And we're
But
gonna
they
pay a
use like
mill?
steers, like they're not like full-fledged PBR bulls.
I'm talking like PBR,
For $1 million bucks, I'd do
Golden
it.
One.
For a mill?
Get up there.
100%.
There's a
Do it for $1 million.
there's
Yeah,
very
I do it
few
for
things I
$1
wouldn't do for $1 million.
Well, you and my buddy
Little
Jared.
homeless, little homeless dude.
Depends on how the economy looks in a couple months.
They just shut down lending. Okay.
All right,
What do I gotta do?
Yeah.
Homeless?
you homeless?
Great, let's
it's
go.
your lucky day. Let's go.
I'm just picturing Matt naked halfway down a bowling lane with a bowling ball in his hands. Like, all right, guys, it's 2 more holes. Who's in?
Slow-mo while chariots of fire.
Oh, dude, and only if you do it like during the glow bowling, right?
Glow-
You're like glow bowling.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely have to be a thing.
So much yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How about you, Ty?
Me?
Yeah, what's
I'm
your-
trying to think about it. I don't know. I've done so much stupid shit in my life for free.
So here's what was this the dumbest thing you have done or you would do?
not
This is what I
dumbest. This is
would
like,
Or
what would you
the
do?
craziest thing?
Yeah, yeah.
But have or would?
I think it was both initially.
Okay.
What have you done? Because usually it's when you're talking about it.
Oh yeah. So yours, the craziest thing you've done for free was drop a deuce off a 3-story.
Which
Oh, yeah.
But what's the craziest thing you've done for money?
Oof, I don't know that I could talk about that.
Has it been 7
In
years?
the air, huh?
Has it been 7 years?
Longer than that.
Well, then you're golden, right? Isn't that the statute of limitations?
I think it varies for everything.
Oh, okay. We're gonna edit what I say later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I have. There was a lot of crazy times.
As you think about it, I think it's funny that like there's some sort of draw when it comes to parking garages and feces. Because I too, growing up, thought it was super fun to go on top of parking garages and like do stuff with poop.
And
Just
drop
throw it.
shits.
Oof.
Like not necessarily throw it, but we did a lot of dumb things, and parking garages were sick. But
See, that's why I'm like, is it a what would you do or have you done? Do you do it for like just for sheer shock value? Are you trying to be funny or are you trying to like push the limits? I mean, some of these activists out there, PETA and other stuff, they're strapping themselves to freaking boats and ships and like going like, I don't know if I do all that.
Dude, there was
I don't know I'm going to put my life in danger of bodily harm.
when I was in the Coast Guard, there was we had 2 instances I'll talk about. One was there was an oil tanker coming into the port of San Francisco, and a bunch of protesters got out on a sailboat. And for anybody who doesn't know, out on the open ocean, there's rules of the road, and sailboats have the right of way. So they just put a bunch of these sailboats in the shipping channel.
Wait, why is that? Over a motorized?
Because you're so if a motorized vessel cut you off out on the open ocean, a motorized vessel has way more maneuverability than you do as a sailboat because you can't turn into the wind and certain things, right? Plus, a large vessel could basically take your wind away.
Yeah.
So sailboats, like out in the open ocean, if you're on like a 30-foot sailboat, an oil tanker has to go around you. So they thought they would do this in the port. They didn't realize that there's outside the sea buoy rules and inside the sea buoy rules. And inside the sea buoy, restrained by draft, which would be a giant boat in a harbor, has right of way because they can't control themselves. And so we definitely had a altercation between
A collision?
yeah.
Are you allowed to shut the wind off, like outside of the buoys, for a sailboat?
What do you mean shut the wind off?
Like just turn it off?
No idea what you're talking
I mean, I've seen dances for rain, but
I mean, if you're talking about the delta,
Dances for
Dances for
dances
rain.
for wind.
No, dances for rain.
if you're talking about for the
so
delta breeze,
frustrated.
they can definitely cut off the delta breeze by turning off all those fans out there.
That is.
We used to convince.
That's what I would do. I mean, if I'm piloting or manning or captaining a other vessel, I'd just shut the wind off. And be like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Be like, "Ah,
so were those little sailboats destroyed?
Oh yeah, they were pretty badly. You know. And so the second one was we were out in the Delta. There's this little place out there called Mandeville Point. Looks like a giant cock from the air.
Giant what from the air?
Cock.
Cock.
Yes, it is a
you
cock
can
and
say
balls
that.
Yeah.
from on a map.
Is there any like indigenous?
On the map, it legitimately looks like a giant cock and balls.
Yep, 100%.
So, like, if I was running a stadium, people would be like, "That's
If you were what?
what?"
What did you say?
Running naked in a stadium, people would say that's what's going on. That's what that reminds them of.
If they've seen the map, maybe.
Okay, gotcha. Just
Oh.
sure.
Be like if you're Italy.
Yeah,
That guy's like a big giant boot.
there you go.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah,
A lot smaller.
What?
So we were out there for like some party weekend, and there's like 6 houseboats all tied up to one another. And someone said that there's this guy who fell overboard. He's like naked and whatever. So we pull up and we post somebody on the boat to like go check out, like medical assess this guy. And so we pull off, and this other houseboat's like calling us over. So we go and talk to them, and we're asking what's going on. And they're all from NASA over at Moffett Air Force Base.
What?
And there's all these engineers from different, from NASA, from Google, from Tesla, like all these big tech companies. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're out here. It's like they're trying to build like a commune out 3 miles offshore.
For what?
I'm like, why? Like, so we want to be in international waters, so we're not bound by federal law. I'm like, oh, okay, sweet.
so what do you plan on doing
So
there?
how are you guys gonna like stay there? And like, oh, we are gonna buy a retired oil drill rig and mount it to the seafloor so we stay there. And I was like, sweet. Do you guys have any lawyers who have like talked to you guys about this? She's like, no, not yet. I'm like, oh, okay. And keep in mind, there's probably 200, 300 people here. No one's thought we should probably see the legitimacy behind the 3 mile rule.
legalities of it.
And I'm like, hey, so like, you should talk to a lawyer first. But just so you know, the U.S. owns the seafloor for 300 miles or 200 miles, whatever it was. It's been a little while since I was.
I didn't know that.
You know,
How'd they do that?
So you own the rights to like oil and that kind of stuff offshore.
Didn't
So
even
it's-
know that.
3 miles on top of the water, but you own all of the like marine life and everything for fisheries and stuff, hundreds of miles offshore.
Beyond
And
it.
so when I told him that, like, you have to go beyond that, and you should have seen all of these geniuses. What? So after I like completely destroyed whatever program they were about to do, we go to pick up our friends. And so my 2 buddies are walking back off this houseboat, like straight in front of us. We're going to pull up and grab them. This naked dude comes blasting through, pushes them aside, and we're like coming up, and I like my buddy like backs off the boat real quick, just leaps into the water
Nuh-uh.
and just starts swimming. And they're like, get him. And I'm like, we like come up
What are you
next to the
gonna do
guy.
with him?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not grabbing a naked dude and pulling him on the boat. Just push him towards the levee. So we got him up on the levee, and he took off and started running towards Baron Hilton's house. Like the Hilton's on island out there.
Oh.
And they started running straight towards the hunting cabin, and the cops were there like, get him. So there's all these guys just booking it down the levee trying to chase down this naked dude.
Dude. And that's the guy that's keeping Google alive.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
right.
Sheesh.
So don't do
Man.
drugs, kids.
Don't do it.
Don't do drugs and don't plan to have orgies out in 300.
300 miles off.
300
shore.
miles off.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys have never been offshore.
That's how coronavirus got started, really. They're not telling you that.
I love how they're practicing like in the Delta. Like, oh, this is good practice. I think there's like
This
4 foot waves.
All right, switching gears.
Yep.
Are
Most
we?
embarrassing.
'Cause-
Oh, did you have one?
Yeah.
What, the thing you would do?
All right.
Oh,
So I have done something that I will be discreet about. So I was in a third world country for work. There may have been a high-ranking U.S. official who was there for an event, and they had strung up these banners across the street and said, George Bush, blew that one.
Oh.
George Bush, your excellency, like across the street, like welcome, all these welcome signs, massive things. And so I'm like, dude, I want to take one of those. And we were really big on bringing back souvenirs for my unit.
oh yeah.
And so I had a couple after the event was over and he'd gone. And so I kid you not, in this middle of nowhere country in Africa, there was a Las Vegas casino. And that's literally what it was called. And the guards in this country rocked machetes. So I had like determined that I was going to get one of these banners. And my cabbie, there's me and Secret Service and a couple other Marines. And we pull up and the cabbie's got to get gas. So we're sitting at this gas station. Right outside the gas station is one of those banners.
Ooh, did you snag it?
So I climbed the light post and I like cut the strings, and so it drops on the street. Mind you, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So then I like carry it across the other side and I like go up this flagpole or this light post. And I'm, I don't know, probably like 10 feet in the air. And I'm cutting this sign and I drop my knife.
Oh,
Well, I don't know his name, but the big scary dude from the casino starts running over and waving his machete. And when we got there, they told us that machete attacks were like the most common thing. So I'm not thinking clear-minded about this. I have to decide, do I like give up on the sign now or do I commit? And I committed. So I literally like wound this sign around my arm and just dropped, and my body weight broke it. And I slid down the pole or the sign, and then it broke, fell on the ground. And I run back to the cab to get in because this guy's chasing me.
jeez.
And the cabbie won't let me in the car. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, I bolted down some dark roads. It was not Somalia, but Black Hawk Down was rolling through my head.
I gotta take you out.
Pasty white boy blitzes through BFE Africa, holding a tactfully acquired sign, and a dude with machete chasing me.
I was about to say, being chased by...
Dude, I
Like a
don't
Texas
think I've
Chainsaw
ever run
Massacre
so
thing.
fast in my entire life. And I rounded the corner, and like the security over the hotel is still pretty tight. And so like they like start freaking out, and I'm like out of wind, like tell them like I'm good, like get out my credentials, and they let me pass. And the guy that was like came over to like vouch for me at the gate was a security Secret Service guy. I got up to my hotel room, and in the morning I saw him down. He's like, dude, that guy came over here looking for you.
He was, because you're taking a sign.
Yeah, I took a sign.
Ooh,
Do you still have that cool ass?
I was gonna say that you have to still have it now.
So I have not seen it since my divorce. My dad thinks that he has it in a box somewhere.
But
But
be like, Dad,
I was
Get
about
it.
to say, hey, after COVID, I will go with you to go search for that sign.
it would be amazing
know.
if I could find that sign. But it is massive. It would literally stretch twice across your garage.
oh really?
Your garage. Yeah,
because it's meant to be like
it's across the road.
yeah,
Like,
an overhang.
dude.
think of
Let's
like
go.
12 bridges across there.
Like, we need that.
It was like this hand painted
We need that for July 4th.
like fabric sign.
We need that for the 4th of July, right?
Dude, it
Welcome, George Bush.
was your excellency. George Bush. Dude, it was such an awesome sign. Came back, put that up in the Marine House for a little while.
Does it have like his opium face on it or something like that?
No, dude, it was like I don't know if like the kids from Africa like painted it or something like it. It's like hand done on this thing.
Oh,
That is pretty. I
And
would
they were
definitely
all
want
over.
that.
They were all over town. It was pretty legit. It was cool.
That's awesome.
And
Dang.
yeah, should have gotten paid for that. That was terrifying.
You still probably could get paid for that if you find the sign.
That was definitely like top 5 scariest moments of my entire life.
Scariest. Oh, I think it was embarrassing. Were you embarrassed?
No.
Oh,
At no
we'll
point
still
was I
have
embarrassed.
Wow, man, he's getting chased by a guy with a machete. Like, that's a story for a lifetime right there.
Yeah, we're telling
Dude,
it later.
all I'm saying is those Army Rangers from Black Hawk Down got stuck. I got out. And for
I got
all my
something
vets
to tell
from
you.
Black Hawk Down, I'm 100% kidding. You guys are badass.
Man, I have an embarrassing story, and it will stick with me forever. All right, so rewind. I get out of basic training, Texas, and I get my first duty station, Idaho. And I'm at Mountain Home. I'm probably, I don't know, 4 months in. You get into your training and all that kind of good stuff and getting all acclimated. And this is my first duty station, so I don't know what the frick is going on. I don't know who the hell everybody is. So you hang out with your trainer, and we're going to the gym, and they're kind of like responsible for you. And we go to the gym, and we're working out. And I'm doing, I don't know, sit-ups, crunches on one of those decline benches, you know what I mean? And it was a nice gym where the mirrors all around, and I'm just shooting the shit with the trainer. He was a staff sergeant, I think, and I'm an airman basic, right? E1, so super low.
You guys have good, nice gyms too.
Oh,
Like
super
so
nice
many people
gyms.
go to those gyms.
Oh yeah. People come from off base to go on base to go to the gyms. Yeah, so they're really nice. So I'm trying to connect with him. the trainer, right? Because I'm like a relational person, so I'm just talking, and I'm doing these sit-ups and everything, and that was probably, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes into the workout. And prior to that, we've been joking, talking about what there is to do around Mountain Home, Boise, girls, work, guns, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm doing my workout, and this overweight gal comes in, and she's got, back then it was, let's see, I graduated in 95, I was in 96, so we're talking 97, 98. And so really awkward time in the world, a lot of weird things going on fashion wise. And so spandex was just coming in.
I don't remember. I was in elementary school.
Fuck.
That would make me in elementary school too.
Oh man. Okay. Well, anyways, so I'm doing these, and
Mike,
I
you do the
go
same, bud.
down and I'm looking backwards, and this gal walks in, and she's got super tight spandex on, a tank top, and they're black and white, so like all black and a white strip down the leg. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm coming up doing these sit-ups like, oh my gosh, look at this friggin' fat penguin. Oh my gosh. And the gal keeps walking closer, and the guys are laughing, the trainer's laughing. She walks up, she gives a kiss to the trainer. Hey, babe. And the trainer's like, hey, honey, and then looks at me. It was his wife.
Oh, you said it out loud?
I said it out loud
To the trainer.
to the trainer, just trying to connect and be funny and everything. And he looks at me and he just says, hey, honey. And then she's like, I'm going to go work out over there. He goes, okay, you have a good workout. And he looks at me, and I cannot even tell you how. You ever get on like your very first roller coaster and your knees are weak and you just feel like you're going to like shit your pants and puke all at the same time? I'm looking at him. I'm like 19 years old. I'm just at a first duty station. There's no hole for me to run into. I can't go back to the barracks. I can't talk to my mom and dad. I'm just like, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. He's like, I know. And life changed in that world. So it taught me a super valuable lesson. I will never, ever, and I haven't to this day, said anything out of context if you do not know. Mm-hmm. Right?
Oh my God.
It was horrible. It was like a movie scene. So that is my most
That
embarrassing
is
one.
not where I thought you were going with that. Like normally military stories like have a really funny ending.
No.
My
This
stomach,
is an embarrassing. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Most
my
embarrassing.
stomach like hurts.
Yeah. It was really bad. It was bad. Yeah. What's yours?
What's my what?
Most embarrassing story
Most
now.
embarrassing?
I like where this is going.
Because I got more. Like,
I've got like buddies embarrassing stories.
I have like
can't
a
think of one
funny
off the top of
embarrassing
my
one.
head.
well, I was embarrassed. I was mortified. I mean, so I'm still embarrassed. I still, even saying that story, I would love to go back in time. Not even back in time. I like to find the dude on Facebook and just be like, I'm sorry again. I'm so sorry.
I love penguins.
Emperors are my favorite.
Like, it'll take me a couple minutes to think of like an embarrassing story for me. Like, I've got a couple friends like in mind, like once you started stating it. But
Well, what about that one that you did last week?
what about the one that I did last week?
That one embarrassing time that you did that thing.
What one embarrassing time did I say?
He's like thinking about it on repeat.
I'm like,
don't know.
I can't even think about it.
I'm
What'd
just
I do?
joking. I don't know what you did last week.
Shit, I don't even know what I did last week.
What's yours? While he's thinking.
I mean, I've done a lot of dumb things. I wasn't necessarily embarrassed, but I've embarrassed my wife a lot. Like
You did that last week.
I was gonna say no.
Like,
wasn't that
growing a
yesterday?
mullet? Yeah.
I pretty much do it on a daily, but like
Oh.
we were dating. We just moved up here in 2008, and we were in our apartment. And I know you guys know this, but no, I'm just gonna say it.
Actually, I don't know that I know this.
Actually, I do not know that I know
Is
this.
this when you pooped on her?
Oh, you
Close.
pooped on her?
Oh.
I mean, splash maybe, but I mean,
Soiler alert.
so yeah, like I moved out of my parents' house. Liz came with me, so we're dating. You know, it's nothing even serious yet. I think we're dating for like maybe a year. You know, but so we're in this apartment. Things are going good. All grown up. I think Blockbuster was still a thing. So
You guys rented some DVDs.
well, that was
What do you
like,
want to do tonight?
that was like the one thing. Like we're an adult. We have a Blockbuster membership. So as soon as they like went bankrupt and closed all their stores, we're just like, well, now we're not an adult.
I was about to say, having a Blockbuster membership might be one of the most embarrassing things you could possibly have at this point.
Shoot.
Not at, I mean now.
Not
at the
then,
time.
no.
Now the time is like,
But not then.
Back
No.
then, you're like,
yeah.
How did you watch movies?
You're like, yeah, Howard the Duck. I want it. I'm on a membership.
yeah.
Dude, I remember over at Blockbuster by my house, they had like the adult only section.
Not all of them had that.
No, dude, by the time I was an adult and came home, that was gone.
They closed.
Yeah, they were close. Literally the mystery that will never be solved for me. I never made it into the adult section of
Well,
Blockbuster.
you just got to thank Al Gore because internet, man, you can see anything you want now.
Thanks, buddy.
Al Gore's the man.
But,
All right, so keep going.
okay, so
Yes.
like I said, 2008,
I
we
digress.
fresh started dating, moving to this apartment in Rockland, and we'd both transferred up here. I transferred for my job. Liz transferred with Southwest, so it was kind of like a big deal. And so we're there, and like my family and friends, at first wanted to come visit me because I was like the first friend to like move away.
Move away. Yeah, you flew the coop.
I flew the coop, so I split, and my brother kept wanting to come up. And we were never that close. And this one time,
AJ.
he comes up, spent the night, and the next day he's like ready to leave. And he's like, "Oh, bro." And I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't know if you guys knew that, but so my brother and I think even Liz smoked back then too. I know she smoked, but I don't know at that point. But whatever.
Wow. Would you start it up again with a mullet, though? By the way.
Maybe. I just threw away my hookah. I didn't know if you guys wanted it, but
What?
I know.
Drift Trike gone, hookah gone. What?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Hey, I always heard.
All right, keep going.
Are you suicidal? Well, usually when your friends start selling all the cool stuff.
Yeah. Be worried. So my brother and I are smoking a cigarette together. Liz was out there, whether she was smoking or not, I don't remember. And I felt fine, but I was just smoking, just like drinking coffee. Smoking will make you like get your belly turning. Mm-hmm. So I'm out there, and I felt like a fart coming, and I just kind of lifted a cheek and did my thing, and all over the ground, just all over the ground. And my brother, like, literally was like mid puff, like cigarette to the lips, and he looks down and he just loses it. He's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then my girlfriend, my somewhat serious girlfriend at the time, is just totally disgusted. She was embarrassed. And everyone laughs when I say this is like a little college town because that part of Rockland is like right next to the college, Sierra College. So there was a bunch of like college kids around when I did it. And so Liz, I think she was more embarrassed because I didn't show any emotion. I was just like, well, I just lit this cigarette. I'm not going to waste it. So then I finished it. I was just out there. Well, I finished both. I finished my the hot mud and I finished the cigarette because I already broke the seal. Already
Did
made
you
a
have the
mess.
squirts?
Yeah.
Or wait, is that like a turd?
No, it wasn't like a loaf or nothing. It was just like straight water.
Ah.
Yeah, it was bad. So it
Did
was
you have
all,
shorts on?
Yep, basketball shorts, which I never even played basketball. But so I'm out in front. Liz is just livid because as soon as it happened, she was mad. But the fact that I just stayed out there for another like 2 minutes, she got pissed.
Finishing your cigarette.
Yeah. So my brother's laughing. Like AJ backed up because it was disgusting. I understand that. I'm not mad at him, but it's not like he left in anger. He's just like, well, I'm just gonna give you some space and finish this. So then Liz
The
like,
initial social distance right there.
so then Liz, like I said, freaking out. She goes, get inside, get inside. Well, she wouldn't let me walk inside of our new cool apartment
Yeah.
full of poop leg. So
Poop leg.
I had to strip down naked in front of, and it was a single story apartment. Like there
You're
was
on the
multiple
bottom?
levels. I was on the bottom, yeah. So I'm like getting just naked, and I look like a giant toddler baby, just with you can imagine, just grossness all over my body, my lower half of my extremities.
How long were you guys dating? Was it like early or like you were into it?
6 months. 8
Oh,
months?
that's a critical time.
Yeah. So she's a trooper. So I was butt naked at the front door, and this college girl walked by, and like literally, it was like 10 feet away. Like she probably could smell it. She probably clearly knew what was all over my backside. But I kind of smiled and was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like just kind of awkward.
Did you have the cigarette and you were still puffing?
No, I already threw that on.
Oh.
Is this thing popping? Oh, I already threw that away. But so then I had to go back out and clean the mess. And like the whole time I was cleaning, I was like, "Freaking dog!" Like blaming the dog, even though I don't.
So
even
you just had bubble guts like while you were having coffee and a cigarette and just launched it.
Yep. Just I gave too much trust in this
Dude,
fart.
your commitment game is strong.
Yeah.
Too much trust in this fart.
So, and like Liz, I think she knew it was going to happen eventually because like one time this is prior to moving out here,
yeah.
right? So we're kind of bouncing around. But I was in my parents' house in my bedroom where I grew up, and I don't know why, but I said something like, "Oh, I'm going to pee on you." She goes, "I dare you." So I just started peeing on her. So she like, It just took time to get to that point, I guess.
So
They're
You
peeing
claim-
on each other.
you're like 10 years in now, right?
Yeah, next year we'll be 10 years married, so about 15 years together.
Are you
So
guys still peeing on each other?
Yeah,
at this
like,
point?
what's
Or,
next?
Like what's next?
Lately, with this hair, she doesn't let me get around her in the shower, but
A lot of people who are listening do not know what this hair is.
to everyone that doesn't know me right now, like I have a sick mullet. It's in the early stages, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So getting back to the shower
Jello-rotica.
thing, like the only time I'd ever pee on Liz, like she wouldn't know about it until she knew about it.
Until there was that smell.
No.
Like, coming
Or
from the
you're like,
shower or
"Wait a
something
minute.
Like
Ooh,
that. Like,
the warmth, like wait a
Oh,
minute,
it's the
because
warmth.
we have a shower, right?
Yeah.
I mean we have a tub.
well,
we take
yeah.
showers.
Most people have showers.
Yeah,
in the
so
world.
Your
Yeah.
house is so sick.
I'm not bragging. But it's pretty sick.
Have you ever peed on her like outside, like she's just like dead asleep in bed? It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, or 4 or 5, whatever, right before you go, and you're just like, oh, and just totally pee on her.
No, but nothing's holding me back.
We got another 10 years.
What would you do for money? You
I'll
guys
give you
thought-
$2.
No way.
Yeah.
I'll empty an account.
Ooh. Well, she's already mad at me because of this hair, so just put a little frosting on the keg, a little pee on the bed.
Hey man, Yoko.
And just blame it on the dog.
Matt's pulling out some Washingtons. Oh, dang.
20 bucks.
Dang.
Hey Mike,
That's a Jefferson there.
Yoko.
Wow.
You only COVID once.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so yeah,
Just saying,
getting back to peeing on Liz, I haven't peed on her in a long time, but she gets mad every time. Like in the shower, she's like washing her hair so her eyes are closed because we don't have the tear-free shampoo, so she's got to close them. And all of a sudden she's like, "Wait a minute, why is my leg warmer than the top part?" And she peeks an eye open, and I'm just sitting there laughing. And she gets pissed.
Wait, the funny thing is, you're not in the shower.
Oh man.
You're just standing with the door open. She's got closed eyes, and you're just launching a freaking golden rainbow.
$21. The pot is getting raised. I don't know. You guys in on this?
I could Venmo 20.
I mean, it's going to cost more than $21 to be in the doghouse for a whole day.
For one day. One day.
Make sure it's a work day. It won't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know that I've ever done that.
Yeah.
You never peed on? I mean,
Lynn's?
Yeah.
Not that I can remember. There might have been a couple. No, I don't know that I have.
No. Maybe like a driblet accidentally like popped out or something. But,
A droplet?
yeah, dude. Like,
No, let's stick with driblet.
let's do a driblet.
So am I the only one that's ever pissed on my wife?
No, I did once too.
Did you? The last guy in?
Not on Sarah.
Not on Sarah? Oh.
I guess the way I worded that. No one else is pissed on my wife.
Oh my God. No one else is pissed on my wife.
No, that's what makes her yours.
Yeah. You've clearly marked your territory. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I've never.
I can't think of anything that tops that.
No, that's
Embarrassing.
that's the problem. Like, I should have started.
I've sharded pretty bad
Like-
that I actually had to like completely drop and throw away the drawers because I just didn't want to deal with
I
it.
did it on a road trip one time. Literally just
Yeah.
like, in the Taco Bell.
But it's the kind of the same things. Like you
Chuck the
ain't,
boxers, man. Rolled
Yeah.
out commando.
you ain't trying for it. You just put too much trust, and with a little belly bump, you got a little rumbling, and you're like, I got this. Next thing you know, why is it around my kneecaps? You just gotta toss it.
Oh no, I'm.
supposed to
It's not worth it.
Yeah, the worst thing maybe might have been I put my ass cheeks out on a long road trip and just took a shit like while we were driving.
Sick.
Like you had racing stripes, like all from
Down the
door
car?
down. Really?
Yeah, so like one spring break, we hit this guy's car with shit, like a whole dip bottle basically that
Yeah.
we like were just spitting in the whole time and like toss it behind and everything. One of our buddies just like literally obliterated his car on a road trip down to Panama City. Spring break.
Wait, how'd you hold yourself out to where you didn't fall out?
Basically roll the windows down
Yeah.
and just start shitting.
I'll have to try
And just
that.
hang your ass out and then
Pretty
hold
much.
So
on to the inside
for you
and then just-
kids who are listening right now, a couple words of wisdom on puking or crapping apparently outside windows. If you're in the front seat,
Doesn't work.
don't accidentally roll down the back windows when you do this.
Yeah, proper
So-
precaution.
I got really slammed at a UFC like fight night at a buddy's house when I was in the Marine Corps, and coming back from Camp Pendleton, I lived in Vista at the time. There, you have to do like one of those like 270s to get back on the new freeway. And man, I thought I was gonna die. So I like drunkenly in a Saturn, all the windows are in the middle, and so like,
man.
I'm like fumbling around, and my window's not going down. I didn't realize I lowered the windows on the passenger side behind me, and finally I'm like, okay, we're good. And there's like this little bump because it was out, and so I hit my window and I puked, and I thought, oh, thank God, I like made it out the car, and I look back at my driver, and she is covered in puke.
Puke.
It went out my window, back in the passenger window behind me, over the inside of the car.
So nasty.
Hey, I got back to the apartment, and I get ready to go back to the back bedroom, and she just stared at me and like, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch.
Dude, that's gross.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
No,
Pretty bad for embarrassing
I was in the
moments.
back, so
Yeah.
it worked out a lot better.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Lessons. Hashtag life lessons.
Well, boys,
Yeah.
any other pretty amazingly embarrassing stories?
Embarrassing.
No.
I don't know.
Not that tops Mike's though. Mike's is,
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
Mike's
that's a
is-
pretty good one. I don't know. I don't.
We
I'm
should
trying to
have
even
you
think
finish
before I was
off with
married. I
everything,
didn't poop
man,
on
like,
anybody
yeah.
or pee on them. I mean,
yeah, no. I
Other
mean,
things,
other
but-
than off of objects, right?
yeah.
Like,
Wait, what on objects?
well, no, being up on top of parking garage. and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah,
and,
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you two are pretty. I mean, Tyler and Matt, pretty
brazen.
close on what you're doing. Why is everyone dropping deuces everywhere? I've never done this.
Really? Oh, dude.
We could ask the guy with the 4-door Jeep. Mm-hmm. His doors are currently off. Like, we could literally have at least 3 people shitting while driving.
That would be.
That is
Shotgun.
the truth. But
Shotgun.
no, not shotgun. Not shotgun.
Yeah.
Backseat.
Yeah, backseat.
Backseat.
No,
Wait,
I'm
no.
calling shotgun in that
backseat-
situation.
Backseat, driver's side.
But if he's
You
got,
got the passenger side.
yeah, if he's got tires, if you don't make it, you don't clear it. They're gonna hit those tires. It's gonna be flinging shit everywhere.
Dude,
Well-
they're called mud flaps for a reason.
Ah,
All right.
Good point.
So you got shotgun. So Tyler will get hit with your shit, then be shitting on top of that, and then I'll be on the far side. Hopefully not getting hit with anything.
Oh, I got a funny story about poop.
All right.
All right.
last one.
wait,
Here
I'm
we
sorry.
go. Last one. Here we go. All right, we're in deep.
So, like-
oh, real quick. Hold on. We got to go to commercial real quick.
Angry balls. Feeling stressed? Angry and alone? You're not the only one. Are your balls isolated and tired? Mixed apple cider and Fireball whiskey to help with the relief. I'm not only the president, I'm a member myself. Drink them if you got them.
And
right.
we're back. Okay, go for it.
All right, last story about poop, and I think it's funny. It might not be funny to anyone else, but like when I was,
The setup is good.
oh man, it was funny.
I'm sitting Indian style right now.
So first of all, I was on this electric.
I'm clenching.
I was on this electric crew, and the foreman running the joint, he was a small man. He was probably like 4'8", 9". I don't know.
Wee.
Tiny. Super nice guy. Had like super long white hair on the sides, but bald on top, and we called it the skullet. So he was a good sport.
Is he an elf?
He was.
A Keebler elf?
I'll show you a picture later. Super nice guy though, and he drove like the foreman truck was like a standard cab, 4x4 truck. So it was relatively tall, full size truck. And we were down in Bakersfield doing a big project down there, and during lunch we all like decided to big giant truck and trailer on the tongue of the trailer. We're like, oh, I got to poo, and there was a bunch of us that needed to poo, so we all took turns pooing on this one spot.
Ew.
So it was just a huge pile of poo, and we like purposely threw paper elsewhere, so it just looked like a weird pile,
Mound of-
it looked like disgustingness, like a giant Hershey Kiss. 'Cause that's what it
Like a
actually,
Dairy Queen, the top of a Dairy Queen.
yeah. So then the truck driver, I think he was one of the guys. There's 3 of us, I think, that took just big massive turd on top of turd. But he's like, hey, you got to move this because we had a woman on our crew, and he's like, if she steps in it or even sees it, I think she's gonna freak out. So let's just move the truck forward about, like 20 feet, and then it won't be an issue. Like, okay, cool, smart. So we do that, and then in the back of the trailer, the tongue that we're pooping off of, we have like this bird guard thing. It's just like a piece of plastic V, and it just makes birds stay away from the conductors and stuff.
Yeah.
So someone's like, oh, you know what we'll do? And it was all sand where we're at, right? So we just stuck it in the sand, and it just barely cleared the poop, and then we had to go to the next project. It was like a lunch break or something. So we get on the radio, and the foreman behind us was in his little pickup truck.
Yeah.
And we get on the radio. We're like, hey, and I'm not going to say his name just in case he ever hears this. But I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah. Because he was like tiny and like real soft spoken. We're like, we think we dropped some shit off the trailer. Do you mind picking it up? He goes, yeah, no problem. So, and we were just cracking up. So he freaking pulls up next to it, and you can like clearly see this bird guard just sticking out of the sand. And he stops, jumps out of his truck, which there's so many funny aspects of this because he's such a short guy. As soon as he stopped his truck, put it in park, opened the door, and jumped out, he just like disappeared because he's so small. Well, then he like runs over to this bird guard, looks at it like he's touching it, and looks down like beneath it, and he's just like, holy shit. And from far away, you can just tell he's just thinking. His mind's blown. So he grabs the bird guard, throws it in the bed of his truck, and like takes a 2-step back into the cab. And then he gets on the radio and he goes, is there bears out here? Oh, we were all done.
Bakersfield.
In the middle of the desert. Yeah, there's shit bears. All right, I'm done talking about
There's
that.
a bear shit
It's
in
the
the
Central
woods.
Valley lowland.
I don't know, but it
Desert
does in the
bear.
desert.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, here we have it. Embarrassing stories, what you would do for money, and a whole lot of poo talk.
We didn't even get to the what would you do for money.
Yeah, I know. We'll save that one.
That's for next episode.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
Next episode? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Maybe to the next episode. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. No, bye. See ya. I'll talk to you soon.
I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, vintage friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the deep, these no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a peep, bro. Whoa, whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib. Neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the dip. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since a fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no, no, no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go, go, go.